Looks like I got a slight delay. Oh, perfect. Yeah, 20-30 second delay, but that's okay. All right. Oh, look, it's self stuff. Yeah, that's cool, man. So the main reason I wanted to do this live is because I got a lot of shit I want to talk about in this video. And it's probably like a lot of the things I get asked like, I don't know why I fucking use this widget. It never works, so I'm just gonna minimize it. But a lot of questions I get asked, it all relates to the same shit. What's up, Daniel? Basically, people don't seem to understand that everything that happens to you externally is a direct reflection of who you are internally. I have a lot of videos talking about how you attract what you are, and a cheat code to attracting exactly what you want is to become that yourself and just let it naturally attract. You also have to cut off all the things you need to leave behind in order for this to work as well. But it doesn't just apply with people, it applies with things, your living environment, the job you have, the energy around you. It applies to a lot of shit. You notice, like, take somebody that's depressed, for example. When you analyze their lives, they're usually surrounded by depressed people, even if those people don't admit it out loud. They usually live in a depressing household. You enter some of these people's house and you can like literally feel all of the dark energy colliding on you, draining your energy, making you feel some type of way because, they're attracting what they are, and it's reflected in the people they live with, the people they're surrounded by, their friends, their house, everything. Now, a lot of people wonder when I say this, so how do you make your internal self the way you want it to be, right? If that's the secret, then how do you mold your internal self so that your external follows? And it's really not complicated, honestly. At the end of the day, everybody knows exactly what it is they need to do, but some people want to, deny and resist, because at the end of the day, right, a lot of people, I said this in the debate that I did with Charles, shout out to Charles, right? A lot of people just want things to stay exactly the same. Even if they know that their life situation is fucked, because they've gotten so used to it and because it's comfortable and complacent for them, they prefer to just keep things the way they are and not change anything at all. So as a result, over 20, 30, 40, 50 years, they continue to attract more of the same. And yeah, it just becomes an endless cycle of fuckery. And something that I said in my older videos when I first started talking about this, the purpose of the game is to keep you in a cycle forever. And that's kind of why I wanted to do this live, because, this is the type of video that I know some people are going to have some shit to say, and, I want to give them a chance to say their disagreements, live in person while I'm talking about this. So, one of the best documentaries I've ever watched, funny enough, there was a chick in Pirate 101. I kind of made her watch the document with me. I'm just like, what are you doing Sunday? She's like, nothing. And I'm like, you're watching this with me. Which is why I laugh when people act like women don't like nerdy shit, because they do. You just have to be man enough to not hide what it is you're interested in and not hide who you really are. That's actually the first example as to what I wanted to talk about. So the first step to making your internal exactly the way you want it is you have to be fully honest with yourself. You have to be fully honest about what you are, and you have to be fully honest about what it is you seek to become. It can't be done as a hypocrite. You can't have any guilt or shame about it. Once you've fully accepted who you are, what you are, etc., you can then kind of like draw on a chalkboard, okay, this is what I am right now, This is what I seek to become. Two things that I'm asked probably on a daily basis. How do I attract more intelligent people? I'm tired of hanging around stupid people. How do I attract higher quality girls? And the answer is the same exact shit. You want to attract more intelligent people, you got to become more intelligent yourself and naturally attract what you are. You want to attract higher quality girls, you got to become a higher quality guy yourself. Now, I'm not talking this red pill bullshit where they're like, you know, value and money and status. That's not what I mean. For a high quality girl, for example, you want to attract a girl that's loyal and doesn't cheat, you got to become that, which is borderline impossible for most people because a lot of guys in 2023, they have this, mentality that they should be able to cheat on their girl and their girl not cheat on them. But does that make any logical sense to you? Cheaters attract cheaters. That's why when you look at relationships as a whole, if one person's cheating on their partner, usually the other person is cheating as well. You know, it's an endless cycle. So loyalty attracts loyalty, intelligence attracts intelligence, strong attracts strong. I cover all this shit in previous videos. But making your internal exactly what you want it to be, first it requires full honesty, right? Because a corrupt tree cannot produce good fruit. If your foundation is corrupt, if you're lying to yourself, if you're lying to your inner self, then externally you're just going to attract more deception. Now, I am a guy, I love knowledge, I love information, and I realized a long time ago that if I want to attract truthful information, truthful, accurate knowledge, I had to become a truthful, honest person myself. Because again, it's not just with people. Yes, honesty will help you attract honest people, but honesty will also help you attract honest, accurate information. You got motherfuckers that are always talking about opinions and theories and ideas and beliefs and philosophies, perspectives, perceptions, all this shit that doesn't matter. And then what happens? They attract more opinions, they attract more ideas, they attract more theories, more perspectives, more beliefs, more perceptions, more shit that has absolutely nothing to do with the truth. That's why if you observe a 20-year-old Generation Z guy who's in college, who's been trained to only focus on opinions and beliefs, what do you notice about this guy? His friend circle is full of guys that only care about opinions and beliefs. His girlfriend, if he has one, only cares about opinions and beliefs. His college only cares about opinions and beliefs. So what you start off with internally is what you end up with externally. It starts off small. It starts off if you just attracting one person that's like this, then you attract 100 people like this, then you attract a college that's like this, then you attract a job that's like this, then you attract a girlfriend and it just goes on and on, man. So my whole thing with my channel, the documentary name was The Secret. There's also a book. They got a book on the same documentary as well. You can find it on the internet. I mean, it's like a $10 book. I would also recommend watching the documentary as well. But anyways, I'm going to talk about The Secret again later on. Let me finish my point. So my whole thing that I talk about on my channel, I'm all about solving the root cause. Because again, a corrupt tree cannot produce good fruit. So you need to chop down the corrupt tree and you need to plant a new seed that starts off right in the first place. The seed I try to plant into you guys is, first, you need to be honest. If you lie to yourself, you're going to just attract more lies. This is a thing that most people are too afraid to do. Most people are too afraid because it's hard. I get it. When you're fully honest, there's going to be a lot of people that don't like you. But something that I always say, the path of high resistance is not something most people can take. This is a very difficult path. So yes, your circle is going to be small, but it's going to be a quality circle. Would you rather have 1,000 friends that are useless, or would you rather have 10 good friends that are able to help you in any situation? Me personally, I prefer the 10. And that's probably one of the few times I've ever given an opinion on this channel, because in my opinion, I think having 10 quality friends far surpasses having 1,000 useless friends. But, you know, if anybody disagrees with me on that, please type in the comments, you know, because I would love to see a good refute as to, now, hey, if you're just looking for cannon fodder, if you're a general and you just want 1,000 soldiers to go and die for you, that's different. But if you actually want good quality friends that can help you conquer shit long term, that's what you got to do, because you can just go and recruit a bunch of soldiers if you want 1,000 fucking cannon fodder. But before I deliver the coup de grace, let me read some of these comments. And yeah, I mean, you know, women, they like stuff like that. See, shout out to Charles, because he's actually in the comments right now. Women naturally understand these things better than men do. Women understand energy better. This is why the number one thing they're attracted to is energy. And guys are often like, well, what the fuck does that mean? What the fuck is energy? Women understand the esoteric better. Men understand the esoteric better. Now, what's more important? You need a balance of both. You need a balance of emotion and logic. A mistake a lot of women make is that they throw all of their skill points, as you gamers would call it, into emotion. But you need a balance of emotion and logic. Because emotion, that negative feeling that you get when you're around conflicting energy, most guys ignore that, right? Why do they ignore it? They ignore it because it's illogical, right? But you should never ignore what your instinct is telling you. That inner self that I'm talking about in the stream, that core feeling that you get when something is wrong, don't fucking ignore it. Women usually don't ignore it. So guys, and this goes along with everything that I'm saying, right? You got these guys that are just permanently stuck in theory land, the opinionated fuckers that attract more guys stuck in theory land because the external is a reflection of your internal. When you think theories, you attract more theories instead of attracting more results, right? So the guys stuck in theory land, they're sitting around there throwing darts. Oh, it must be money, it must be status, it must be this or that. But the people that think internally truth and honesty, they attract truthful, honest information. And then they see that when it comes to women, it's an energy thing because you're attracting what you are. You take a look at most guys, their girlfriends are exactly like them. Obviously men and women don't act the same, but the core personality is the same. You take a look at a fucker that's obsessed with money, his girlfriend's usually obsessed with money. You take a look at a homeless guy, his girlfriend's usually a homeless girl. You take a look at somebody that's a drug addict, his girlfriend's usually a drug addict too. And the mistake that a lot of guys make, let's say that you're straight edge, right? What the Gen Z guys call, drug free or whatever, right? Let's say you're straight edge and you walk up to a woman that's a drug addict and you try to make a move. Because the energy is conflicting, it's not going to happen. You could be a good looking Giga Chad, but she's going to reject you because the energy is conflicted, right? Versus a guy that's a fucking 5 out of 10, because he's also a drug addict, he's going to get that chick because you're attracting what you are. Now, obviously, I'm not telling anybody to make their internal self a drug addict so they can attract more drug addict chicks. Oh, look, it's Toontown Gamer, one of my longest trolls, man. Listen, I ain't putting on no shirt. I look too fucking good to be wearing a shirt, man. Fuck that shit. Look at them traps, bro. And I'm glad the Toontown Gamer, I'm glad this troll just said that, right? So when your internal self is a troll, you attract other trolls, right? You don't attract truthful, honest, informative content. You attract trolling content. That's why trolls usually aren't good at anything, because their internal self isn't saying, let me be skilled at something. Their internal self is saying, let me watch and worship the people that are good at stuff and then try to bring them down. That's why the stereotype that most trolls aren't good at anything is true, because how can you be good at something when you don't make your internal self skilled at anything? You know, one of the main reasons I've been going to, thanks for the compliment, but one of the main reasons I've been going to track meets lately is because track is a mental sport. At the state championship level, which is the last meet I went to, all of those people pretty much have around the same speed. But the difference between the winners and the losers is up here. Mentally strong and internally strong. And one random guy approached me. I think he was a coach. He actually thought I was one of the runners. And I'm like, nah, bro, I'm 29. You know, I haven't ran in 10 years, right? And, you know, I thought it was his daughter. We're cheering somebody because he kept talking about this chick that was in the race. I'm thinking that it's his daughter. So I'm like, all right, you know, I don't know anybody here anyway. I was expecting to see some of my old coaches, but I only saw one, and he wasn't one that I got along with, so I didn't even talk to him. So I'm like, all right, you know, fuck it. I'll help the dude cheer for his daughter. But that wasn't his daughter. That was like a friend's daughter or whatever. And on paper, there was like a 20-second gap between her and the chick that was expected to win, right? It was the 2-mile, right? A 20-second gap. Now, the people watching the stream are going to be thinking, there's no way in hell she made up for a 20-second gap. Not in 2 weeks. That's impossible, right? Because we were all cheering for her, she looked directly at us, and she like got a confidence boost, and then she starts going ham, man. Now she beat the chick. You guys can Google, you guys can look this up. The Maryland State Track and Field Championships, the one that just passed for the 3200 3A. She beat this chick by a nanosecond, by a literal nanosecond. When previously she lost to the same chick with a 20-second gap. So that just goes to show you, right? When you make your internal self strong, your external results are strong, right? This shit applies to everything you fucking do. So people that are strong internally, they're going to be good at sports. They're going to be good at making money. They're going to be good at attracting the opposite sex. They're going to be good at making quality friends. They're going to be good externally at every fucking thing they do because they got it in here internally. Trolls are weak internally. That's why they suck at everything they do and why they try to bring everybody else down. Again, shout out to Toontown Gamer. This guy's been trolling me for like 5 fucking years. All right, now that little rant is over, let's get back to the comments, because then I want to talk about The Secret, because that's an important documentary. I want to go in on that. Yeah, self-stuff, because, you know, you probably won't admit this on the stream, but self-stuff, you know, you're a troll too, man. Up until recently, you used to troll my content. You were trolling my content for the last couple of months, so of course you're going to attract a girl that's a troll. You attract what you are. You know, shout out to self-stuff, though, man. Sometimes he types good comments, but, you know, it's like 50-50, man. 50% of this time, this guy be trolling me, but the other half, he be saying good stuff. Mr. Goat Cannon is saying, look, for me, there were things that mattered to me. Friendship, war. This dude said friendship, war, peace, and honesty. Bro, are you reading from a fucking poem? This poetry right here. These are the 4 things I believe in that have a meaning. Good and evil don't have any meaning. Well, I mean, exactly. You know, you guys know I don't like the B word, but yeah, good and evil are... this is something I want to cover real quick. Let me take a sip of tea because I'm about to go in. This is something that I want to cover. Me and Charles had a little conversation yesterday about, what does nature mean? What is natural law? Blah, 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 right? Good and evil are human invented concepts. They don't actually exist in nature. If a starving lion mauls a baby, is that evil? Or is that good because he's doing what he has to do to survive? The truth of the matter is, it doesn't matter. What your opinion of good and evil is doesn't matter, because in the real world, in nature, what you believe and what is actually true are two separate things. You may believe that it's evil that lion just killed your baby because he was hungry, but unless you're strong, there's nothing you can do about it. Now, if you're strong enough to take on that lion, then you can stop the lion from killing your baby. Or, if you were wise, you wouldn't be in that position in the first place. See, this is why I always say, the strong rule the weak. The lion is stronger than that baby. The lion is stronger than that guy that has beliefs. A strong man can kill that lion. There's documented cases in history of men killing lions. By themselves, right? But the wise don't put themselves in that position in the first place. And this is what I mean about here. Your external is a reflection of your internal. Because when your internal is like, I'm a bad motherfucker, man. I'm going to beat the shit out of people. I'm going to be the toughest son of a bitch ever, man. Ain't no lion going to kill my baby. Externally, you're going to be fighting a lot of lions. You're going to be getting in a lot of fights in high school. You're going to be getting in a lot of fights in adulthood, because your external is reflective of your internal. But if you think internally that if you find yourself in a physical conflict in the first place, you've already done something wrong, you're not going to be getting into many conflicts, because your external is a reflection of your internal. I know it sounds crazy, but I think everybody in this chat by now has personal anecdotal experience, and they can relate to what I'm saying. Look, I'm not a heroic figure. I'm just an anti-hero pretty much. I mean, anti-heroes are underrated. You follow Strongman, Charles? Oh shit, I didn't think you followed Strongman. That's what's up. Shout out to Eddie Hall though, man. He's he's one of the best strongman guys over the last 5 years. My personal favorite was Brian Shaw. I really like when Brian Shaw was competing, because Brian Shaw was just fucking humongous. He looked like a strongman. Eddie Hall is kind of small in comparison, but size and strength don't directly correlate. But yeah, Eddie Hall broke the deadlift world record by like 80 pounds, which is huge in the powerlifting world. Yeah, exactly, Charles. Perfect example. Eddie Hall worked on his internal. Whenever he started lifting weights, he pictured himself as like moving like a truck off of his family or something, and that gave him external strength. You know what I'm saying? The girl noticed me from yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. You attract what you are. So when you are a troll, you attract other trolls. This is why I don't troll, because I'm not like, I like to have fun. You guys have seen some of my more fun videos when I took my boys Mason and Glenn to the hood. Shout out to them. I like to have fun too, but when it's time to get serious, it's time to get serious. As a result, I tend to attract very serious people who know how to have some fun on the side, but we don't go around trolling people's content. If you have time to fucking troll, you have time to do something more productive. Nah, I mean, and I'm glad you mentioned that, Charles. So The Secret, right? What The Secret basically talks about is that you think it first, then you speak it into the universe, then you actually do it. I said in the previous debate that physical manifestation is the last step, and some people kind of looked at me like I was crazy. And the example that I gave Charles yesterday is, let's say you want to make a fucking TV show. First, you have to go to a higher realm You have to envision it in your mind. Then you have to speak it into the universe. Then you physically manifest it on the TV screen. Some people take this a step further and think in their mind that there's a specific type of animal that they want to breed. They speak it out loud, and then they physically manifest that animal into the real world. The dog I used to have, the Golden Doodle, that's not a natural breed of dog. Somebody sat down, or a group of people sat down and figured out, hey, if we mix a poodle with a golden retriever, we're going to get this little fucking giant fluff dog, right? I actually wanted a golden retriever, but that wasn't available at the time. And a chick that used to date my brother, she's like, oh, I'll give you a golden doodle for free. And then I got it when I graduated the police academy, I got that as a little present. Wait, what? I think your microphone is picking up a frequency that only some animals can hear. Hold on, let me mute my mic real quick and let me listen to my own stream and see what he's talking about. I'm not an expert on audio frequency, but I thought, I don't know. I don't know how to make it so that my mic doesn't scare your animals. I would advise moving them out of the room. I don't know how to help you with that, buddy. Anyways, so getting back to The Secret, that's basically what the documentary talks about. It talks about how physical manifestation is the final step. And when women say this, the men are just, oh, it's just woman being woman. No, actually, again, women, for whatever reason, they naturally understand the esoteric better than guys. Physical manifestation is a real thing. If you're new to track and field, what do? When I first joined, I thought I want to break a 5-minute mile, right? I physically manifested that later on that year, and then I broke the 5-minute mile. Physical manifestation is the last step. That's why the title of the stream is Your External is a Reflection of Your Internal. Because what you physically manifest externally, that's the final step. You first have to think about it in your internal self first, then the world around you shapes the way the way you are internally. You know what I'm saying? I live in a nice neighborhood now, nice and peaceful. You know what I'm saying? There's hot chicks everywhere. Life is good. But what did you guys notice 10 years ago when I was making those Toontown videos? I had very angry, chaotic energy. As a result, the world around me was angry and chaotic. You know what I'm saying? Baltimore, some areas are not exactly a fun place to live. But I digress. Yeah, that guy probably was trolling. Stop speaking to Kata. I don't even know how to say the dude. Shout out to Kata. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say your name, even though I talk to you a lot. But stop talking to Cataclysm. Stop talking. I'm just going to call him Kata on the stream. Stop talking to Kata. He's 10 years old. He's a child. Wake up. We caught you. Oh, no. I've been caught talking to a 10-year-old on Discord. Whatever shall I do? Oh, no. But I digress. Shout out to Kata. Kata, if you really are 10 years old, you're way more intelligent than most 10-year-olds. So shout out to you if what this troll is saying is true. Which I don't think what he's saying is true, because I don't know. There's some smart kids out there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my homeboy Troy. I met that guy when he was like 14, and he was already like, see, back then Troy was a baby, right? He was like new to this path. So back then he was a baby, but even then he was already more intelligent than most adults. Shout out to Troy. I think he's graduating this year. But listen, man, I don't know how to pronounce that. Shout out to Kata, man. I don't know how to. Why do you think women are closer to nature than us men? This is the reason why, right? Jetty may or may not be watching it. I mean, he watched the last stream I did, so he might show up here. Shout out to Jetty. My own boy Jetty said it best last year. The game is already completed. It's just a matter of realizing it. Let me take a sip of tea real quick before I go in again. Dude's telling me to put on a shirt. I look too good to wear a fucking shirt. Anyways, this is gonna sound insane, but just follow me for a second. I'm gonna show you guys what I mean. When we're little kids, when we're babies, we're the closest to nature. Like, we start off understanding natural law. Babies and little kids are the most savage people on planet Earth because they don't know deception. They don't yet know how to live life unnaturally. This is why if a 4-year-old saw me looking like this, they will usually say, "Mommy, why is that guy looking crazy? Why doesn't he comb his hair? Why doesn't he have a shirt on?" Why do you think when people talk about when they got bullied, they always go back to elementary school? Because little kids, because they don't yet know deception, they just say whatever the fuck they want with no filter, right? Because they're the closest to nature. It's when society starts training kids that you gotta lie so you don't hurt people's feelings. You gotta do this, you gotta do that. You can't do this, you can't do that. You essentially start getting trained out of what's natural from like 3, 4, 5 years old, right? And this is why, like on my channel, I try to get people to revert back to how they would think as a 4-year-old, right? Think about what is natural. There's a reason that unless you're a psychopath, something feels wrong when you tell a lie. Your heart starts beating, you start sweating, your eyes start going everywhere. It just doesn't, it feels unnatural to tell a fucking lie. This continues on to adulthood, where if you ask a woman what her type is, women don't have a type in the first place. I made a whole video about that, but if you ask a woman to tell you what she's sexually attracted to, she's usually gonna lie. Why? Because society has taught her that you're a woman, you can't be sexual, suppress what it is you actually desire. Versus if you talk to a 5-year-old baby, she will admit, yeah, I got a crush on Johnny Billy Bob. You know, the kid in my kindergarten class, man, I love Johnny Billy Bob. And then she probably has a diary where she's scrubbing Johnny Billy Bob in her fucking diary. But 10 years later, when she's 15, she may still like Johnny Billy Bob, but because all of her friends around her don't like Johnny Billy Bob, or because she's been taught by society, you can't have a crush on Johnny Billy Bob because he's a drug dealer, or he's a nerd and nerds are not attractive, or he has a job working at McDonald's. So when you ask her who she likes, she's going to give some politically correct bullshit answer. Oh, I like a guy that makes money, right? She's not going to tell you out loud she likes Johnny Billy Bob, but behind the scenes, she's smashing Johnny Billy Bob. So, but why do women naturally get this better than men do? It's actually really simple. Women are emotional, women feel. Men are trained to be logical creatures, women are trained to be feelers. When it comes to energy, it's feeling. That girl may not even know why she likes Johnny Billy Bob, but she feels that the energy is similar. Men are taught, you can't think like that, that's illogical. You'll get fucking clowned as a man if you tell your friends that you like a chick because of her energy. They're gonna fucking, well, I mean, my friends don't do that because they get it, but you're gonna get clowned. If you're attracted to that fat, ugly chick in the back of the class, because it just feels right, your friends are gonna, if you're a man, your friends are gonna fucking clown you. What the fuck? That chick ain't got no tits or ass and she's like 300 pounds. You're attracted to that? What the fuck is wrong with you, boy? Versus if you're a woman and you tell your female friends you like Johnny Belly Bob because it feels right, they're gonna be like, oh, you go, girl, I ship you guys. So a lot of understanding natural law is esoteric. In my last debate, I said that anecdotal evidence is the strongest evidence that a person can have. And all the men commented, what the fuck is wrong with you, Chris? We got peer-reviewed studies. We got Google and Wikipedia. Anecdotal evidence sucks, man. Throw that shit in the trash. But the females, they got it. Because women understand that your personal experience is what you're going to use to shape your internal in order to mold your external the way that you want it to be. But to keep your question short, who asked that question? Shit, I got to scroll up. Who asked that question? Wow, you guys got all kinds of names that I can't pronounce. I'm just going to call you Mr. Lord, right? Because I can't pronounce the rest of your fucking name. So to keep an answer simple, Mr. Lord, women naturally understand natural law better than men because women feel. They go by what they feel. They go by energy. And a lot of understanding nature, as I'm talking about in this video, is energy. You shape your energy to be a certain way, and then you attract similar energy to you. Women naturally understand this. Men challenge it because to them it seems illogical, right? Now, what's more important? You need both. All things in nature are best enjoyed in balance. You need a balance of emotion and logic. Men like to throw all of their skill points into logic, and they think that emotions don't matter. The red pill says that emotions don't matter, and women do the opposite. As above, so below. They throw all their skill points into emotion and feeling, and they usually don't leave any in logic. But you need a balance of both. And this is where most people fail, because having a balance of emotion and logic is very, very difficult. It becomes a lot easier once you're used to using both, but you need a balance of both. I hope that answers your question, Mr. Lord, and I can't pronounce the rest of his name. I looked into the stars tonight in Afghanistan. I saw you getting ripped into shreds. I mean, you saw me getting ripped to shreds? You're damn right, I'm getting shredded. Look at that bicep. Hold on, this one looks better. Look at that bicep peak. I'm getting lean. Look at them striations. I'm getting lean. So yeah, I'm getting ripped to shreds, all right? You're damn right. The stars told you the truth. Nature does not lie. Listen to nature, observe nature, and see your boy Frizzy getting ripped to shreds. I'm getting lean, getting my muscle back. I remember doing this stuff as a child. Have you ever read Walden by Henry David and another fucking name I can't pronounce? It's a great book about understanding and living with nature. So no, I've never read that book, but hey man, any book that talks about going straight to the source and going out into nature, I approve. A-Ra is like, what's your opinion on grooming? Well, I think that if you're a parent and you understand natural law, you absolutely should be grooming your children to understand natural law. So, you know, because that's your job as a parent anyways. You have you have two jobs as a parent. Obviously, the first job is making sure your child survives until they're old enough to survive on their own, obviously. Your second job as a parent is to groom your child to understand nature and to understand the truth so they don't get fucked in the real world like 99% of the people born into this world. So that's my opinion on grooming. What's up, Two-Face? Shout out to Two-Face. What's up, Soloman? Shout out to Soloman. Thanks for the support. Yeah, dude, a chick I was interested in last year, man. She's like, why do you call everybody Billy Bob? I don't know, man. I don't know where I heard it from. It's just some shit that I've been saying. how the fuck do you say this name? VCIC. I'm just going to call you Vice. Mr. Vice is asking, can you give me some advice? My friend is trying to regurgitate your teachings without full... Let me take a sip of tea, man. This is going to be a good one. My friend is trying to regurgitate your teachings without fully understanding them. This is just leading him to exclude himself. Can you give me some advice? Oh man, I'm gonna have fun with this one. Okay, let me get rid of the fucking chat viewer because this shit's not working. And now, yeah, let me just get rid of the chat viewer. It's not working. It's literally not working. Oh, I can't get rid of it. So, two things. If he's regurgitating my first of all, these aren't my teachings. I want to make this very clear, right? I'm not the originator of natural law. Natural law is literally just the laws of nature, and all natural law means, I'm going to make a video on this later. All natural law means is that as humans, we have free will. With our free will, we can make decisions. From our decisions, consequences happen naturally. That's why it's called natural law. So I'm not the originator of natural law, and I'm not even the first person to talk about this. There's many people that talk about natural law. You just don't see them in society because they don't make YouTube videos, they don't do interviews, they don't appear on TV. They talk about this stuff behind the scenes and only with other people that get it. It's very rare to see a person that talks about natural law, to the masses, right? But so first of all, it's not my teachings. I'm just an innovator, right? That being said, if he regurgitates my videos, then he should be regurgitating, don't go to man for knowledge, go straight to the source, the ultimate source of knowledge and power, nature. My advice for your friend is, you said he's excluded himself. You do need to cut off weaker energy. You do need to cut off people that can't keep up with you. You do need to cut off people that aren't interested in understanding the truth, natural law, etc. That being said, this is why I warn everybody that watches my videos, you have to have real life, practical... Oh, hold on, wait a minute. Are you the guy Kata was talking about? Kata, is this one of your friends? Oh, shit. You're talking about Kata, aren't you? Well, whatever. I can't prove you're talking about Kata, but let me get back to my point, right? You have to have whatever you listen to. At some point, you need to go outside, go straight to the source. You need to have real life experience, real life anecdotal application of the craft. Okay? Don't just sit around on YouTube, listening to Theoryland, right? If you listen to my videos, which I always tell people that they need to get to the point to where they don't need my videos anymore, that's not me being ungrateful. But the main reason I say that is, at some point, okay, you're listening to what I'm saying. At some point, you need to go outside and verify with your own eyes if what I am saying is true or not. That's the only way you can tell if somebody is lying to you, either intentionally or accidentally. You need to be able to verify what you've heard, is it true or false? So my advice for your friend is he needs to spend less time trying to lecture you guys and more time going outside to the source and seeing with his own eyes if what is being said is true or false. Hey bro, what's your game of Uber? How many hours do you put in to make 2K a week? Well, you know what? I got you. Now, let me start off by saying this is not a normal week. Last week or 2 weeks ago, you know, the bonus was so great that I couldn't resist and I went junkie mode, man. So hold on as soon as my shit loads, because everything wants to load slowly while I'm doing the stream, right? Hold on, let me, what the fuck? Hold on. I'm trying to, wow, it's not letting me do it. I'm trying to change the date, but, because I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really put in many hours this week so far, because I've had a lot of shit to do. But I'm trying to, hang on, give me 1 second, guys. I took a picture of it somewhere, because my apps are always fucking up. So last week I went junkie mode because there was a lot of money to be made. A lot of people were graduating from college and high school, going to parties. There was horse racing. So yeah, I went junkie mode 2 weeks ago. So I made 2,700 my last active week, and I drove for 66 hours in order to get to that, and I was making about 40 an hour. Doing that, let it zoom in. $15 a trip, 2.6 trips an hour. So, you know, the people that think I'm anti-science, man, that I'm anti-data, listen, bro. I am a science guy. I am a data guy. As you guys can see, I keep track of data very well. But what you get, what people don't seem to get when I talk about this is that all science and all data directly derives from nature, right? Some of you guys see it like science then nature, but you guys got to see it as the universe, nature, then science. The people that rule over y'all, they understand that the ultimate source of power is the universe itself, and they then created science as a variant of natural law. So, but to actually answer your question, Mr. Free Soul, you know, on an active week, I try to put in about 60 hours, because something that I realized is that all the fucking millionaires and like all the people that have the power that rule over you, you know, regular people complain about working 8 hours a day, but the people that rule over you aren't just working 8 hours a day. Elon Musk, he be fucking sleeping in that motherfucker be working like 20 hours a day. Vince McMahon, 20 hours a day. Donald Trump, 20 hours a day. So when you look at all the people that have the resources, all the people that are at the top, they're not working 8 hours a day. They're working 12, 16, 20 hours a day, right? But it's not work to them. It's just a part of their natural lives. It's just a part of them. Why do you think when they tried to force fucking Vince McMahon to retire, this dude found a way to make himself work even more? My fucking dad was like that, dude. I'm a 9-year-old kid. I used to tell my dad, listen, bro, you got to take some days off. You're going to kill yourself. And of course, you know how parents are when you're 9 years old. Oh man, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. He was forced to retire medically when he was 50. And you know what he told me, man? Oh, Chris, I should have listened to you. I'm making more money in retirement than I ever did when I was working. And because to them it's not work, it's just a natural part of who they are. So to answer your question, I put in a minimum of 60 hours a week. You know, $40 an hour, that's some pretty good money. Now, as far as how you actually consistently get $40 an hour for your trips, in the future, when I have more free time, I'm going to make a channel called Uber and 101, and I'm going to specifically cover the Uber and shit. But right now, I just don't have enough time to do it. Balance, 100% like yin and yang. One can't exist without the other. Exactly. As above, so below. Without light, there's no darkness. Without darkness, there's no light. DJYC Fitness Channel. Nah, man, I'm too small. I'm 175. I'm too small to be a fitness influencer. Besides, my focus right now is mostly, breaking my old mile time. It's going to be hard in my 30s, but honestly, man, when I was 16, I ran a 4:34 mile. And at state championships, I saw twins. One ran a 4:53 and one ran a 4:56. And these were females. These were freshman females. And I'm like, oh, hell no. Can't no high schooler be faster than me. Especially some high school fucking 14-year-old girls. Hell no. So I'm trying to break. My focus right now is I'm trying to break my mile time. So yeah, I'm going to be small for a while. You're like Jim Jones, but black. Are you the A-Rod I used to follow on Instagram? Did you somehow find my YouTube channel? Now that's kind of creepy because I don't talk about YouTube on my Instagram. So how the fuck did you find me here? But if you're not the A-Rod I used to follow on Instagram, then never mind. But I ain't nothing like no fucking Jim. Listen, bro. Jim Jones wanted to have a cult following. I literally tell people to get off of my videos and go straight to the source. Go straight to the universe, the ultimate source of knowledge. Again, I'm grateful that people like to support my channel, but my end game goal, honestly, is like if people were going to watch my videos, I'd rather they just use this content as a refresher to what they already know. I really want people to just go straight to the source. I'd rather people just do what the people that rule over them did. Do what the elite did. Do what the people that have all the money and resources and power did. They went straight to the source, understood nature, understood the universe, and then they took what they saw in nature and used it to physically manifest the society that we live in. So I ain't nothing like no fucking Jim Jones. Jim Jones wanted to be a god. Fuck God, man. I want people to have absolute freedom and control over their own lives. I want people to see that we live in paradise, that life is amazing, and then they decide their own path. They decide their own fate. When I met up with my friends last week in DC, it wasn't like I was the leader and my friends were the followers. No, it was a group of 7 individuals coming together collectively with the same energy and experiencing life together. That's exactly what the elite that rule over you do. It's a group of individuals coming together with mutual goals in mind. So I ain't nothing like no fucking Jim Jones. Self stuff. Jim Jones was a guy. He got a bunch of people to drink Kool-Aid, poisonous Kool-Aid. Hopefully YouTube doesn't take my stream down for saying that on stream. All he does is sit down and watch your videos. He doesn't verify anything. I personally believe that he had done this just to cut us off. I mean, if you're telling the truth, if he's watching this stream, dude, go outside and verify what you've heard on these videos. Don't just sit down and worship my videos. Please go outside. Listen, man. I gotta take my glasses off for this. Listen, man. Listen to me. Just listen carefully to what I'm about to say. If you find somebody that tells you the truth and there's no deception, congratulations, you got lucky. But the only way you're going to know if you're being lied to or not is if you go outside and verify what you have just heard with your own eyes, ears, hands, and nose. You have to see it with your own eyes. You have to hear it with your own ears. You got to feel it with your own flesh. You got to smell it with your own nose. And I'm forgetting a sense, but whatever the 5th sense is, you got to use that sense too. Otherwise, guys, Albert Pike said it in his 3rd chapter of Morals and Dogma. I got Morals and Dogma right over there. I'm actually going to get another book by Albert Pike, not because I'm going to man for knowledge, but, my mentality is I must collect all rare books. I must have all rare books. It's just a little hobby of mine, right? But you have to fucking verify if you're being lied to or told the truth or not. I'm not lying to anybody, but you would not fucking know that unless you go outside and verify that yourself. How do I understand anecdotal evidence in the dictionary? Well, understanding the dictionary, I would need to make a whole video cover it, which I'm probably not going to. If you want to understand the dictionary, just grab a thesaurus and learn how to break words down and then go from there. You really don't need me to teach you how to read a dictionary. This guy's got to be a troll, but in case he's not trolling, if this is a serious question, how do you understand anecdotal evidence? You go outside, you go straight to nature, and then you get some anecdotal experience, and then, you know, come back to your internal self and think about what you just experienced. The path of least, oh shit, fuck, where was I at? The path of least uber resistance possible. Hey Chris, why did you change your YouTube icon from the Soviet Union flag? So I was a communist in 2008 when I made the YouTube channel. I was 13, 14 years old. And, you know, at the time, I got a whole video talking about this on my channel. It's called What's With All This Communism Stuff? And, you know, at the time, you know, I learned a very important this is why I tell people not to go to Men for Knowledge, you know. Because when I was 14, I looked up to the guy Joseph Stalin, right? Because I believed his Hollywood story that he went from being a bank robber to the dictator of the second most powerful country ever. And then later on that year, when I found out that he was just a puppet, you know, I had to make a very hard decision. Do I continue following the false idol, or do I accept reality that, you know, he was just a puppet and he wasn't the mastermind of everything that happened in the Soviet Union? So I kept that avatar on my channel because my thing is, and this is the second time in 10 years that I'm going to mention an opinion on this channel. In my opinion, you should never forget your past mistakes. You should fully embrace your past mistakes and then take them internally and use them to shape a better future. Never forget the mistakes you've made, but always remember them so you can make a stronger future. So I kept that avatar as my channel for 13, 14 years, because I always wanted to be reminded of that very important lesson. Don't go to Man for Knowledge. I changed my avatar recently because it was time to change it, right? I was taking my channel in a new direction, and, you know, my current avatar represents what I talk about in my videos. What's up, Glenn? Shout out to Glenn. He's in here. Mr. Charles commented, as I see it, nature is mind-boggling. Fuck. I need some tea, bro. As I see it, nature is mind-bogglingly complex, and science can help us make sense of things that we can see. That's the purpose of science, Charles. Science is literally just natural law explained. It's funny because he says nature is complex, but nature is actually really simple. Science is what's complex, but all science does is take natural law and explains it in a more complicated way. And it has to be more complicated because natural law is kind of like the umbrella. Once you get that, you understand everything below it. But science talks about like very specific things and likes to focus on all the little mechanics and all the little. So I would actually argue science is more complicated. Have you ever read an astronomy book? But you don't have to read an astronomy book. Just go outside with a telescope and observe the stars yourself. But I digress. The people that originally made astronomy, they didn't even have telescopes, which is even more impressive. How strong human eyes were back then. Can you teach the path of least resistance without effort? The path of least resistance doesn't have to be taught. That's the default path that most people follow in the first place. You know, one of the few times I've ever quoted Christianity on this channel, it talks about that the path of high resistance is a path that you must find. You know, enter through the narrow gate. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but enter through the narrow gates, because wide is the path and broad is the road that lead, or the doors that lead to destruction, and many enter through it. But narrow is the road and small is the door that leads to life, and few will find it, right? You have to find the path of high resistance, but the path of low resistance that leads to destruction is like the default path that people follow. Anyways, thanks for the game, brother. Have you got the Tesla yet? Dude, because I never cared about credit, man, I was gonna get the Tesla for $40,000, but the ARP made that shit cost like $20,000 more. So I said, fuck it, y'all can kiss my ass. So my credit score is about to be 681 right now. So I'm gonna get it when my credit score updates, just so the ARP drops down to the single digits and I'm not, you know, paying 30% more for that Tesla than what it's worth. I mean, they can kiss my ass with that. So I'm gonna have it when my credit score updates, you know. Life is a marathon, not a sprint. You know, as much as I want to jump into Uber Black and potentially double my income, I know that long term I'll save money if I just do it correctly, get my credit correct, then get the Tesla. 20% ARP, they can kiss my ass. Yeah, Kata, your friend up, I already forgot his name, but one of your friends is is talking about you, man. Oh wow, you're the A-Ra I used to follow on Instagram. How the fuck did you find my YouTube channel? Nah, sell stuff. A-Ra is a female. I followed her because she was friends with another chick that I knew, and you know, they had some drama going on, you know. If this is the A-Ra that I used to follow on Instagram, I actually respect you because you did something that almost no woman does, right? I don't know who's telling the truth, but allegedly the other chick that I followed, you know, she allegedly lied about, you know, how do I say this without my video getting taken down? She allegedly lied about some unwanted advances, right? Let me just word it like that. And, you know, the A-Rod chick that I used to follow on Instagram, her and all of her friends basically, you know, called her out for lying about that. So, you know, if that really happened and they were telling the truth and you're that chick I used to follow on Instagram, I actually have respect for you because it's rare. Like, it almost never happens. Women almost never hold each other accountable. That's one of the few things that the red pill is right about. That's actually why I kept following you and your friends, because I had respect for you guys doing the right thing. Again, assuming you're the same A-Ra I used to follow on Instagram, which if you are, I don't understand how the fuck you found my channel, but I digress. You have to watch the stream back, Kata. One of your friends was talking about you. Not a problem, Mr. Hi. Oh, now this is a good question. How can you verify things that are kept hidden? Well, that's not something that I can easily answer in the live stream. In order to verify things that are kept hidden, you're going to need to get your, what do you gamers call it? Y'all call it skill points, right? You're going to have to go out into nature, you're going to have to get more skill points, and you're going to have to learn on your own how to uncover what is hidden. I can't teach you in a YouTube video how to find hidden information. You know, that's just something. I kind of feel bad for people that are being born right now, because I know 20 years ago it was a lot easier to find truthful information, right? There's a leaked Discord chat of me telling people, if you do find something truthful on the internet, download it and save it immediately, because they're removing everything, man. They're removing shit that 15 years ago I could find with 2 clicks, now it takes 100 clicks literally. That Tupac interview where the dude warned him in advance in jail that he was going to get killed, it's like borderline impossible to find that now. So I can't teach you how to find things that are kept hidden, Mr. Caleb. You have to go out into nature and get more skill points, and you have to learn how to do that yourself. Here's the thing, man. Stalin himself wasn't the one killing people. Stalin was the figurehead. Stalin was the puppet. Stalin was the one telling other people to kill people. But I don't follow Stalin anymore. That's just the guy I followed when I was 14 years old, and you know, I didn't know what I know now. What do you think of Lenin? I think the same thing. He was a puppet. Don't go to men for knowledge. Don't go to puppets for knowledge. Go straight to the source, the ultimate source of knowledge. Realistically, would you look up the Karl Marx if you were a communist? I get asked this question all the time, man, because people are like, oh, but Stalin wasn't a real communist, and to some degree they're right. But to answer your question, right now I don't look up to anybody. But, you know, 15 years, no, it was longer than 15. But 16 years ago, when I was looking up to Stalin, it honestly wasn't the communist ideology I was attracted to. It was Stalin I was attracted to, because in my little 13, 14-year-old brain, here you had a guy who was basically a loser. He was a bank robber. He did time in prison for robbing banks, and then he somehow became the leader of the second most powerful country in history. So me being a 13, 14-year-old little kid, I'm like, wow, this Stalin guy is a genius. But you know what they say, man. If something sounds too good to be true, then it probably is. So I was more attracted to the strength that you can go from being a bank robber to being a dictator of one of the most powerful countries in history if, you know, you play the game right. But right now, I don't follow anybody. I don't look up to anybody right now. I prefer going to the ultimate source of knowledge. What about the comparison between Stalin and Hitler? I mean, they pretty much had the same purpose in mind. They were both puppets, and they were both, you know, playing the game. The only real difference between Hitler and Stalin is that Hitler was German and Stalin was Russian. Yes, this stream is going to stay up, Mr. Derek. Do you like men? Yeah, I like men, man. My 2 closest friends are men. Shout out to Mason and Glenn. I love people in general, man. I just love being alive. I love nature. I like men. I like women. I like everybody that doesn't piss me off, you know. But even some people that piss me off, you know. The Frizzy Dog and Pop you guys saw 10 years ago, man, it's not, you know, I don't really have hateful energy anymore. So I like everybody. Everybody that understands natural law, everybody that doesn't tick me off. You know, shout out to the men, shout out to the women. I need to ask a question, though. If you find those with stronger energy, would they not reckon... Well, yeah, exactly. That's... Exactly. The people that have strong energy, they do see people coming to them for free lunch as leeches. That's why... That is a major reason why I warned you guys not to go to men for knowledge. Because if you do find somebody with strong energy that knows the truth, they're going to look at you as coming to them for free lunch, and they may intentionally deceive you. Here's the thing, Women treat everybody they encounter differently. So some guys they're honest to, some guys they're not honest to. Women are all about energy. If a woman knows that you won't judge them, they're far more likely to be honest with you. So, and this is why I always tell guys, you guys got to pick a good woman, right? Pick a good woman that will be honest to you. You know, there's absolutely no reason to hang around deceptive people. It doesn't matter if they're a man or a woman. You know, you don't have to hang around deceptive people. Exactly, Kata. That's why you have to become strong to naturally attract strong. That's the whole purpose of this stream, Mr. Vice. Your internal directly controls your external. Your external is a reflection of your internal. So how do you get strong energy? First, you have to be fully honest with yourself about what your flaws are. This is already impossible for most people, because most people don't like admitting that they have flaws in the first place. But first you have to kind of like look at yourself in the mirror and decide internally what your flaws are. This is where you're at. Then draw like a diagram next to that mirror and be like, this is what I want to be. And once you start molding your internal self, your external world molds around you. So I was right, that was one of Kata's friends. The ultimate source of knowledge, high, is the universe itself, nature. Natural law, all natural law is the rules, not even rules. Rules is a human invented concept. All natural law is the laws of the universe. That's all. The ultimate source of knowledge is the universe itself, nature. That's all it is. All right, they're just having a conversation in the stream, so I'll just scroll to the next questions. What makes you a weak male? Strong and weak are human invented concepts. The example that I used, that the strong rule over the weak and the wise rule over the strong, essentially what I'm saying is that the most dominant energies rule over the weakest energies. So if we were to use a natural example, again, going straight to the source and observing nature, you got the sun, then you got the planets, then you got the moons. Planets rule over moons, suns rule over planets, solar system, well actually a solar system is still the sun. It's the sun's system. So you have galaxy, solar system, planet, moon, people. It would kind of be like that. The strongest energies, the suns, rule over the weaker energies, the planets. And you know, the wiser, stronger energies than that, the galaxies. It's like that, basically. Without complicating it, basically the strongest energies, the most dominant energies, they control what happens all around them. Women are not, so Mr. Hi. Women may not be as physically strong as women, but it still does you some good to observe them. Because again, the average woman understands natural law far greater than the average man. So, you know, that's actually what I had to do. I had to observe the woman and just learn how to embrace emotion and energy and feelings. And that broke me through because I was at a plateau. And once I just focused on how to use energy and emotions and feelings, that broke me through my plateau and I ascended to the next level. So even though women aren't as physically strong as men, you should still observe them. You can learn a lot from observing women. I don't know who Amar is. What up, Mr. Supreme Kai, Mr. Kaioshin? What is an example of anecdotal evidence I can get from nature? All anecdotal evidence is your real life experiences and what you have experienced. I thought so. So how did they find my channel? Okay, so that's not the chick I used to follow on Instagram, but so how the fuck did they find my channel? You must have shared it with them. Whatever, man, I don't mind. But yeah, man, that's everything I just talked about. That's all it's about, man. If you want to improve your external situation, you have to first work on your internal, right? And all making your internal stronger is that you're just sitting down, analyzing what it is internally that you wish to fix. You fix it internally first, right? Whether that's confidence, whether that's your mentality, whether that's your energy. Once you take control of your internal and you connect with your inner self and you connect with the oneness of it all, then changing your external, that becomes easy, man. Before, the whole reason I started doing Ubering is because I was dating a chick online at the time and I needed to make some extra money. That fucking job I had before, I was making fucking $16 base an hour where I had to work overtime to make any money. That shit wasn't cutting it. So I'm like, I'm going to do my own thing because I got to make some money because I wanted to go see her more often, right? So yeah, I didn't know anything about Ubering, but because my internal thought I got to make money, what happened naturally is externally, I started making money. Then when I met that chick on Instagram, by that point, I was making so much money, it was nothing for me to take a couple of days off and go to Michigan to see her. And then when my friends came to DC, it was nothing for me to take a week off and, go and spend time with them. So again, your external is a reflection of your internal. Is natural law anecdotal evidence? Yes and no. No matter what you follow, no matter what you think, at some point you have to get real life experience. At some point you have to get real practical application of the craft. You can read anything. You can study anything. But unless you take your own person and you go outside and verify what is true and what is false, nothing you read or listen to will do you any good. So people get angry when I say this, but at some point you need to step outside and get real anecdotal evidence in order to verify if what you have learned is true or false. Everything I talk about in my videos, I verified with my own eyes what is true and what is false. I'm not just fucking regurgitating, theories and some shit I read on Google. Oh, look, it's Mr. Awesome King, one of my biggest trolls. I'm not debating with anybody right now. I'm just answering questions, talking about natural law. I'm just chit-chatting, just chilling. Mr. Awesome King, man, he's somebody that disagrees with me often, but if he has a Discord, we can get a little debate going, He left like 20 comments on one of my videos because he thinks women have a type. Interestingly enough, he ended up agreeing with me by the end and said, I don't want you to be wrong, bro, but proceeded to say, I want you to be wrong. So, nah, shout out to Mr. Awesome King, though, man. I appreciate all trolls. Again, you can use whatever. You can use Google, you can use Bing, you can use Yahoo, you can use whatever. But unless you verify what you've read out in the real world, you can't tell what is true or what is false. You need to see with your own eyes what is true and what is false. If you read something on the internet and you don't verify if it's true or false, then what you read on the internet is useless. So, I mean, I don't mind doing a debate right now. I got some free times. And this is how you know this guy is a troll. Because I have 400 videos on YouTube and I reply to comments every day. In no comments, in no video did I ever say 100% of women have 100 bodies. I'll give this guy $500 right now if he can put a screenshot or an audio file in the chat and quote me where I said all women have 100 bodies. This is what a troll looks like, guys. They take what you say and then they sprinkle bullshit on top of it in order to derail your points. The main point of me saying what I said in that video was to get guys like you that clearly don't have experience with women like that to understand that women, and again, Google will tell you that men are more sexual because we produce 20 times the whatever the fuck Google says, right? That's bullshit. Women are the most sexual creatures on planet Earth. But guys like this think women are sitting around reading the Bible until their type shows up. That's not what's happening. And again, women don't even have a type. But this is why you have to go out. This is why no matter what you read, no matter what you listen to on YouTube, at some point you need to go outside and see with your own eyes what is true and what is false, man. Because a guy like this thinking that women are just sitting around reading the Bible waiting for their type to show up, if he went outside and he scored 10 different chicks and just told them to open their phone and show them their past partners, he would see with his own eyes these chicks don't got a type. And here's the thing, man, and this is sheep. People get angry, right, when you know them without even knowing them. I've met over 10,000 people. So, I mean, I find it funny that people always talk about a large sample size. I got a larger sample size than most of the people that say that I'm wrong, right? I've met over 10,000 people in my life, from previous jobs, from fucking playing video games, from the internet, from social media, from real life. I have a very large sample size. And something that most people don't like to admit is that most people are exactly the same. When it comes to average people, if you've met one average person, you've met 10,000 of them. And I've met 10,000 of them to verify that most people are exactly the same. I know that, I know what women are doing. I know women aren't sitting around waiting for their types. Now, sometimes I talk in exaggeration. You know, his sisters may not have 100 literal bodies, but I guarantee you that, you know, the amount of experience they have in the, and this is what I mean, women understand natural law better than men do on average. I guarantee you that your sisters are going outside into nature. I guarantee you that your sisters have more real life experience when it comes to the opposite sex than you do. I'm willing to bet that. That's why this guy won't get on a debate and debate his point live, because he knows better. I don't need to know your sisters personally to read the garbage that you said in your comments to know that each of your sisters have significantly more experience with the opposite sex than you do. But this is what you don't understand, dude. Women don't have preferences. And I'm gonna prove this to you. Awesome King 444. The next time you have sex with a woman, now listen to me carefully. If you do this, she's probably never going to sleep with you ever again. But for the sake of science, the next time you have sex with a woman, tell her to pull out her phone and show you her past sexual partners. Tell her to show you her past boyfriends. I guarantee you none of them are similar to each other. So how do women have types if the last 20 guys they slept with are all fucking different from each other? This is why you can't listen to virgin experts, man. You can't listen to people when it comes, like would you go to a homeless bum for financial advice? The obvious answer is, I mean, really, you shouldn't go to man for knowledge in the first place. You should, again, go outside to the ultimate source of knowledge, nature, the universe itself. You should go and just see the truth with your own eyes. But if you're going to use man for knowledge, you wouldn't go to a homeless bum with $0 in his bank accounts for financial advice, would you? So why would you go to a guy who clearly has less bodies than his age about advice for the opposite sex, right? And I'm not trying to bash this troll, but there's many guys like this. There's many guys like this that have only been with one woman or two. They didn't get their first girlfriend until they were 20, but they want to sit here and debate that women have types. Dude, I'm going to guess your age. I'm going to guess you're 17. Go and get experience with 20 different chicks. Get your lay count above your age. Get real life experience in the real world, and you will verify with your own eyes that women don't have a type. Your sisters have an incentive to lie to you. If they told you their real body count, admit it, Mr. Awesome King, you would judge them. That's why they don't tell you the truth. And I don't need to know your sisters personally to know this, because I understand women better than you do, because unlike you, I have real life, I went out to the source, I went out into nature, and I got real life practical experience, and I saw the truth with my own eyes. But yeah, sorry for that rant, man. And I mean, this guy's a troll, clearly, man. He doesn't care about telling people truthful information. He just wants me to be wrong. He sees me as the final boss. You know, instead of arguing with me, he could just go outside and get some chicks and see how they really are. And then he falsely accused me of fucking going to bars to pick up chicks. No, buddy, I'm an Uber driver. I don't go to bars to pick up chicks. I go to bars to make money off drunken college students. You know what I'm saying? I picked up most of my long-term relationships. I picked up most of the chicks I've been with seriously in the hardest spot it is to pick up chicks online. It is significantly more difficult to score chicks online than it is out in the real world. But that's where I met most of my long-term relationships for. Because, yeah, even though it's extremely difficult, if you know what you're doing, it's not that difficult. You know? But I digress. And this is why, you know, I put that open debate challenge out to anybody that thinks I'm wrong. None of these people are ever going to debate me. Shout out to Charles. But, you know, none of these people are ever going to debate me, because deep down inside, they know I'm right. Deep down inside, he knows he doesn't know his sisters as well as he thinks he does. Deep down inside, he knows that all of his sisters have more sexual experience with the opposite sex than he does. Deep down inside, he knows that his sisters understand natural law better than he does. That's why he will never get on here and debate about it, because he already knows I'm not wrong. Mr. Smokey, you shouldn't try to be like me. You shouldn't try to be like anybody else. You should try to be you. You should make yourself as strong as you can be. You should just be the strongest version of yourself. You should never try to be like anybody else. And they're still arguing in the comments. That's funny. But see, this is why Kata cut you guys off, because instead of being open-minded and thinking that maybe he understands something that you guys don't, you guys tried to basically gang up on him and try to tell him that he should stop looking outside the box, that he should stop trying to think differently and stop trying to improve his life. Awesome King 4444. Do you know it only takes about 2 minutes to have sex? So, I mean, and ask me how, I mean, you know, I don't fuck chicks for 2 minutes, but I have a lot of friends that are sexually active, and you know, they all have stories about sneaking sisters out while the brother was sleeping and fucking in the backyard. So you're not watching your sisters 24/7, okay? You may live in the house with them, but I guarantee you, you're not seeing everything that they're doing. And I can tell from some of the comments that you've typed, you're very easy to lie to. So how are they going to lie to you when you see them inside the house all day? Well, they lied to you and said that they have types, and you fell for it. So, but anybody out here getting real life experience in nature, they know that woman ain't got no fucking type. That's why, again, if you open up your phone, the next time you have sex with a woman, you tell her to open up her phone and show you all of her previous partners. None of them are anything like each other. But women have a type, right? Okay. This is why you guys got to get out of theory land and go outside and see what's actually real. I know they're all trolling, but unfortunately there's a lot of people that think like him. There's a lot of people that falsely think the things that these trolls say. So, and this is why I did this video live, because I wanted to prove this shit wrong live so that more people that aren't trolls, you know, so they don't get misled. But I mean, you know, I've been with a lot of chicks that have brothers. I've been with a lot of chicks that have sisters. I've been with a lot of chicks that have fathers. And let me tell you something, man. I knew all of these chicks far better than any of their siblings did, than any of their parents did, even though I only knew them for a couple of weeks, while their siblings knew them for 20 fucking years. What's up, Rose Morris? But yeah, with that being said, if nobody else has any, you know, refutes or questions, I think you guys get it by now. I think this stream was a good stream. I got the... Don't you know I used to be in law enforcement? I'm the first person that will tell you that those secure divisions are not hard to sneak in. What, bro? Come on. This is what I mean, man. This guy, he fucking lives in theory land, bro. Like, I literally was security. That literally was my job. And you're going to try to, oh, okay, bro. Okay, bro. One of the craziest experiences I had was, you know, a chick snuck me into her house. And, you know, she was like, hurry up and finish, my boyfriend is coming. So, you know, this is why you got to go out to the source, man. What questions did you ask, Vice? Let me scroll up. I didn't see a question from you. Do you watch Load Their God? No, I don't watch whoever that is. Was that the only question you had? Exactly, Steve, man. These guys are too fucking vagina to just go to pick up chicks while they're at the grocery store shopping, man. They want to sit in the house and fucking come up with theories all day instead of seeing what's actually real. And Awesome King 444, I even challenge you directly to get your sisters on Discord, and I'll get the truth out of them for you. But you didn't want to do that because you know better. Just type them again, Vice. Just retype them because I'm not seeing any other questions. Mr. Derek is asking, how do you find your true purpose in life? Listen, man, life is what you, not to quote Miley Cyrus, but life is what you make it, man. Your purpose is literally whatever you want it to be. Hold on, matter of fact, I got you. I got a whole video talking about that, Vice. Let me go to my channel real quick. I got a whole video talking about that. I mean, I'll give you the short version on the stream, but I got a whole video talking about that, man. Let me find it. Get shareable link, copy. Yeah, here you go. I got a whole video talking about that. You can't do things as a hypocrite. Otherwise, you don't get properly rewarded for it. So one of the cheat codes is you have to make yourself what you want to attract, but you also have to cut off the energy that's no longer similar to yours. Otherwise, energy that's similar to yours isn't going to want to program you because you got conflicting energy hanging around. And this is one of the hardest steps for people to do because they don't want to cut off their weak energy. They don't want to abandon their weak parents, their weak friends, their weak girlfriends, and because the weak energy brings you down, right? It brings you back down to their level. But there you go. I have a whole video talking about that. So if there's no other questions or refutes, that's what I'm saying, Awesome King. You got to leave the house and really see things with your own eyes, man. Anyways, my challenge still stands. If you want to get your sisters on Discord, I'll get the truth out of them for you because you're clearly too afraid to ask them the hard questions. And if you ever want to debate about it, Awesome King, that offer still stands. It does run in the real world. I literally use that shit as a cheat code to fucking attract. But see, you're not talking from real world experience. Okay. Well, what am I delusional about, Mr. Smokey? Here's your chance to fucking directly refute what I've been saying in my videos. I'm live. If you've got to refute, bring it. Let's go. Whoa, wow. You see that shit? You saw that, guys? He just proved it. He doesn't even know his own sister's Discords. He claims he knows his sister so well, but I'm done. I'm done with these fucking trolls, man. He just said he knows his sister so well, but he doesn't even know their Discord. I guarantee you there's a bunch of other guys that know your sisters better than you do that know their fucking Discords. Wow. I'm glad I did this live. I just called him. Checkmate. Checkmate right on life. Right on live. Checkmate. Checkmate, Mr. King 44. Checkmate. Dude knows his sister so well, but he doesn't even know their Discord. I didn't start getting along with my brother until a fucking week or two ago, and I know my brother's fucking Discord. You're strong, right? What makes you strong? Well, what definition of the word strong are you going by? If you're going by the physical definition, I'm strong physically. If you're going by the mental definition, I'm strong mentally as well. I'm losing in life? Okay, guys, making $104,000 a year as a fucking Uber driver, about to double my income once I start doing Uber Black. Yeah, I'm totally losing that life, totally. Able to fuck whenever I want, able to fucking have sex whenever I want. I got really strong friends that have helped me in rough situations in the past. I got great friends. I'm making great money. I'm living in a great neighborhood, but I'm failing in life, right? Okay. You can get laid on. Do you know how many chicks I've scored online and then I went and met them in person? I'm done with this troll, man. Like, you absolutely can get laid online if you know what you're doing, right? Online is the initial attraction, and if you have enough game to escalate it and have a real life meetup, you absolutely can get laid online. I did that 2 days ago. I met somebody online, and then later on that day we fucked. It's not that hard. You say you have strong mentality. What do you got in life to show for that? I just told you what I got in life to show for that. I'm making 6 figures. I got great friends. I literally have sex whenever I want. Okay, and I live in a great neighborhood. And I'm just in my beginning stages because, you know, later on, me and my friends, once we get all of our resources together, we got some big shit planned. So, you know, even though I'm only in my beginning stages, I have a lot to show for being strong. Awesome King 444, don't worry. Unless your sisters are attractive, I'm not asking for their Discord to fuck your sisters. Don't worry. Now, if they're attractive, I can't make no promises. I'm asking for their Discords to prove to you that you don't know your sisters as well as you think. Yes, Mr. Smokey, and in case you think I'm capping about making 6 figures from Ubering, I got proof, man. Hold on. Because people always like to accuse me of lying. I got proof. I got proof. What? Oh, wait, hold on. Let me make sure it's focusing. In case you try to say I'm lying about making 6 figures from Ubering, I got proof. What's that say? To the people that think I'm anti-science, anti-data, I keep track of all my science and data. I probably have more science and data than all of the people that criticize me. I'm not anti-science at all. I'm not anti-data at all. I'm just pro going straight to the source. That's all. You criticize me all the time, yet you would be glad if I could be your sister's first boyfriend? You're an interesting guy, buddy. I mean, you know, if she's attractive, we could make that happen, man, you know. I'm an open-minded guy, you know. I give all women a chance if they're attractive and they don't tick me off, so. Anyways. Monthly? Dude, do you not know how to fucking read? Monthly? This guy's fucking retarded. This just goes to, this is what I mean, man. Trolls are universally retarded. Do you not know how to fucking read, my guy? This dude said monthly. Look at what the date said. That's $2,700 made between May 15th and May 21st. That's in one fucking week, you dumb dude. 2,700. Let me get a calculator. Let me get a calculator. That's what I mean about trolls, man. Let me get a calculator real quick. So let's see. 2,700. There's 4 weeks in a month times 4. That's $10,800 in a month. Multiply that by 12 months. That's 100. Like, come on, bro. Now, obviously, I'm not, because like I work 7 days that week. Obviously, I'm not working 7 days a week every fucking week. I work 7 days a week most week because my screen was hella blurred. No problem. No problem. I'll put it right back up. I'll put it right back up. Shit. I'll put it right back up. Let me wait till the camera focuses on it. What does that say, guys? May 15th. Through May 21st, 2023. I make $10,000 on average a month. Do the fucking math, man. What's 10,000 times? Okay. See, and this is what I mean about trolls, man. Trolls like to focus on things that don't matter, right? He's looking at it from the status perspective. Oh my God, you've got a low status guy. You're an Uber driver. I don't give a fuck about status. The only reason I do a job is because of how much money it pays me. Okay, so yeah, I'll be a fucking what do you call those guys? I'll be the guy picking up garbage if it paid me good money. If you told me right now I could make $400,000 a year picking up garbage from the streets, I'm gonna fucking do it. I don't give a fuck about status. The only reason I work is to make money. So yeah, I'm an Uber driver, making good money. I don't give a fuck. And this is the thing, man. The women, women are weird, man. For whatever reason, women like that I'm an Uber driver. When I tell them that I'm an Uber driver, they get turned on, and it's like, wow. You know, it's weird, right? I mean, one of the chicks I fucked was an Uber passenger. So Why would I get a haircut, man? I love my hair and the woman loved my hair. Why the fuck would I get a haircut? Hold on, self-stuff. I'm not bombing no babies now. I would never be a soldier. I'm not bombing no babies now. You could pay me $1 million, but I ain't bombing no babies now. I ain't driving a tank. That's where I draw the line, man. Money isn't everything. I'm not killing no babies, man. I ain't being a soldier. But yeah, if you told me I can make $500,000 a year picking up garbage, I'm gonna fucking do it. I don't care about status. I take jobs that pay well. I don't really care about if they're high status or not. Anyways, I think this stream has ran its course because I think I pretty much answered all the refutes that the trolls had. Now he's going full on troll mode. So yeah, this was a productive stream and some of you guys had really good questions and yeah, was a good nice chat. So I'll catch you guys in the next video and yeah, I'll probably stream more often.